Jerry, I need your help. So simple. What would that have been, Bob? It would have been my truth. So simple. Jerry, I'm Susanna. I have a lot of experience behind me, but to tell you the truth, this is my first job on a movie this size. And I bet you have so much information I could learn from. Jerry, I'm pretty much together of all of these purchase orders and transportation orders, but if there's anything that you see that could make our lives much easier, please let me know. I'd be happy to learn from you because I think I've got a lot to learn. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I hope we have a great job together. So here's the question. Think of colleagues, business associates that you're dealing with today. Who are you being? Are you being who you think you have to be to make a good example? Or are you being your truth? So I'm going to share with you what I consider the holy grail of finding your truth. It's something that has helped me change my life. It has. Because it's about finding truth. But the first thing I want to share with you is some very interesting research about leadership. Research to find out what is a similarity between some of the highest leaders that we've ever come across. What do they do alike that we can emulate? And you know what's interesting? They each take time every day to what I call find their truth. So let me give you an example. Churchill, he would go outside behind his office every day and take a walk. Gandhi would meditate. King would pray. The similarity in resonant leaders is that they take time, and I submit that they take time to find their truth. Then what happens is they come back from this truthful place. There's a quality in physics called resonance. When a person comes from truth, it resonates with others, and then it invites others to come from their truth. And so that's why these leaders could have some outlandish, outrageous ideas that we would find and follow. All right, so how do you find your truth? What is the holy grail Susanna calls to finding truth? It is a daily practice, and it's divided into 3 things. You might want to write this down because it's really good stuff, and honestly, it did change my life. All right, the first step is reading inspired writing. It's finding writings that describe and uplift you to imagine who you would like to be, the next step of you. As you read these every day, it's the same principle as what you think about, you bring about. When you read this every day, you have a shift in your psyche, and it begins to take root and make itself at home in you, and you become what you're reading about. First step, reading. Second step, writing. This is not sitting there and saying, how can I be inspirational today? No, throw that out the window. What this is, it's like a download, Betsy, it's like a download off your computer onto an external hard drive. What you're doing is you're just documenting all the thoughts in your head. There's no editing, there's no judgment. You're just getting the crap out of your head onto the page. It's writing stream of consciousness where the pen has to write so fast it can't stop to keep up with all the thoughts going through your head. You get it? This amazing because what happens is after a page or two, all of a sudden what will come out from you is your divine wisdom truth. So that if you're in a predicament or in challenges, suddenly you'll start watching yourself write things that are very wise that will give you guidance on what to do. Reading, writing, third step. Arithmetic! No! Opposite. It's resting in quiet. It's bringing yourself down to zero, Bob. It's resting in quiet, which in truth is meditating. Now, what's the point of meditating? It's to train the mind. You know, I was taken by what Catherine had said. She quoted Deepak Chopra, "I am the power to be in control of my thoughts and conscious of my thinking." And that's the outcome of a daily practice of resting in quiet, where you focus your mind so that it no longer is astray, but you can focus on what you want to focus on. I want to read something to you by somebody. I'm going to ask you to guess who wrote this. Okay, ready? If you just sit and observe, you will see how restless your mind is. If you try to calm it, it only makes it worse. But over time, it does calm. And when it does, there's room to hear more subtle things. That's when your intuition starts to blossom and you start to see things more clearly and be in the present moment more. Your mind just slows down and you see a tremendous expanse and more intuition in the moment. You see so much more than you could see before. It's a discipline. You have to practice it. Anyone know who wrote it? Eckhart Tolle. Anyone else know? Susanna? Only if I look like this.
Okay.
Steve Jobs. So reading, writing, resting in silence. What this does for you, what it just did for me, is connect you with your truth. So that you can find your truth, and your truth will set you free. So this is what happened for me in the film business. When I was in film, I didn't know how to find my truth to my outrageous success. And though I was successful, I wasn't happy. But what happened is, after much very pensive thinking, is that I found my truth. Actually, I had a really bad breakup and went through a lot of therapy. So when I was in the film business at first, I did not feel comfortable being the person that I was. I'm a very spiritual person, and I felt that people would think I was weird if I showed them that, so I hid it. Well, when I found out how to live from my truth, I came back and I became the very full spiritual person that I was in the film business. And it was such a relief, so much easier just to be who I was. And you know what? They didn't find me weird. They found, it's the film business. Well, the film business, believe me, somebody who's spiritual could be thought of as weird. They didn't find me weird, they found me fascinating. They found the more weird I got, the more interesting I became to them. And so what happened is that in the film business, eventually I found out that the film business wasn't for me. And that it was time for me to leave the film business. And so I did in one day. That's another story. I have to come back for that one. I decided to leave the film business. And it was awfully scary because I did not know how the heck I would make money, go on. But you know what? When I closed the door in the film business, a week later, somebody offered me half tuition to seminary if I wanted to go. So when you close a door, another one opens. But here's for some people in this room, this is a very special message. Because some people are afraid to close that door. The other one will not open until you do. And then what will happen is the truth within you that wants to bring you to your outrageous success will start closing the door for you. And for those people, you'll start wondering why bad things are happening. So 2012. Oh, and one more thing. I went into the ministry took me to speaking took me here, and here I am speaking my truth of something I love to do for you, hoping that you'll be able to speak your truth in 2012, taking you to your outrageous success. This year, 2012, it's a year to find your truth. Your truth will set you free. It's something where your truth is calling for you. It's wanting you. It's wanting you to step forward in your truth. It's wanting you to do what you're meant to do and live the life you're meant to lead. It is a pleasure being here today with you, sharing my truth with you about your truth, which is your outrageous success. Please, as your success grows from living in your truth, you've got my number, you've got my email. Call me, because I want to hear that 2012 was the year that you found your truth. Say it with me. And your truth set you free. Lisa.